We often hear stories about asylum seekers, refugees, and migrants in the news. But who are these people? And why do they travel thousands of miles, taking just a few meagre belongings with them? Currently, over 60 million people around the world have fled their region due to war or violence. They come from Africa or the Middle East, from countries such as Syria, Afghanistan, or Somalia. Men and women, whole families, and many children. They leave their home and all their possessions behind because their lives are at risk or because they no longer have a future there. Travelling through a war zone is dangerous. Many of these people end up in a neighbouring country or in a refugee camp close to home. Some people spend months and even years on the road. Once they make it to a safe haven, they can request asylum. This means requesting assistance to spend some time in a different country. We call these people asylum seekers. A number of these asylum seekers end up in Belgium and other European countries. These countries promised to offer protection to people requesting asylum, people who are afraid to return to their country. Some people have fewer rights in their home country because they believe in another god, or because they want to change something in their country. In some countries, you even have to hide the fact that you are homosexual, or you're not allowed to speak your mind as a woman. Anyone who arrives in our country must first register in Brussels. A doctor checks whether everyone is healthy. Then Fedasil welcomes the asylum seekers and offers them shelter and assistance. This is done in special centres. When an old hospital or school is no longer used, it may sometimes be turned into a reception centre. The rooms are cleaned, and sometimes the showers and toilets are also renovated. Fedasil looks at people's needs and finds the best possible place for them. Families live together, for example, so their children can play with each other. Or people in a wheelchair are housed in a building that does not have too many staircases. So what is life like in one of these centres? People are free to come and go in the centre. They're not locked up. They are served a meal 3 times a day in the cafeteria. The menu caters for vegetarians and people who do not eat pork. Some of the residents have a small kitchen where they cook their own meals. To ensure that everyone lives together without conflict, the residents must stick to the house rules. These include a number of rules, such as no loud music after 10 p.m, and everyone must sort their waste. If residents need clothes, they can go to the clothing shop, where they can find clothes that were donated by neighbourhood residents. Sometimes the centres need fun clothes for young people or shoes for men. So if you have some clothes lying around that you think would please one of the residents, then feel free to bring them to the reception centre. Asylum seekers receive some pocket money. If they want to, they can perform some odd jobs in the centre, like cleaning or helping in the kitchen. They can earn some money doing this. Like all other children in Belgium, young people in a reception centre must also go to school. Sometimes they are first taught some Dutch or French before they can go to a normal school. In the evening, they receive help to do their homework. Sometimes the wait can be quite long. Fortunately, there are plenty of activities for children, like a football competition or a Friends' Day, on which classmates are invited to play in the centre. While these people wait in the centre, Belgium reviews their case to check whether they can stay in our country. They are invited for an interview, during which they discuss their situation in their home country and explain why they fled. After a few months, most asylum seekers receive a letter informing them of the decision. The wait can be nail-biting because the decision determines their future. Sometimes the decision is that the asylum seeker cannot be helped as a refugee. He or she must leave Belgium in that case. If an asylum seeker is recognised as a refugee, he or she may stay in Belgium. The asylum seeker can stay on in the reception centre while searching for a job and a place to stay. Now you understand somewhat better why people flee and know more about their journey. Do you want to learn more about asylum in Belgium? Have a look at our website or our Facebook page.